Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based in Scotland. I wanted to be able to share some of my actual process and real-time painting schedule with you guys. So I've got this channel focused mainly on that. I have another channel, a blog channel called Be Creative TV, where I vlog and show you what else I get up to as well in my art studio and in my art business. But here today we are going to be working on these notebooks that I've had for a little while, and I wanted to paint original artwork onto them, and so I'm getting myself into the mood for that. I've got the three of them lined up here, and I am going to get on with it and start adding some more layers to this. So I've got their outlines a little bit. There are three sets of owls, abstracted owls, and they're in a landscape. And I'm going to try and pull them out a little bit in this hour we're going to have together. So let's get started. So I wanted to, let's see, I wanted to lighten up the background, maybe add some landscape and pull them out a little bit. I have my brush here that I dropped earlier, so I'm just going to pick that up. So I have this brush I am going to be using. I'm trying out a new way of recording as well. I have my camera kind of latched from the bottom here, so we'll see what happens with that. And I've got different items laid out all over the place. So I'm just gonna get my palette that I have, and I have quite a bit of liquid on this, so I don't want to tip it over, but I'm just gonna use this palette and get on with painting. And I've not been very practical today because I have beige trousers on. I do have my apron. I have my apron on, but it might be a bit of an issue. So I wanted to highlight my background, so I'm getting straight into it here by having some of this turquoise blue, and then I'll get back into that. And some of this might drip, I don't mind. And trying to paint this as well, notebooks, I'm finding that I keep painting sometimes onto the actual lined paper at the side. I don't know if that's a good thing to show some authenticity of the paint being realistic. So we'll see how that goes with what I'm doing. But yeah, I wanted to add some background landscape into this, so I'm just going straight in with some of these colors, and I decided to put them all together so that I can work on all of them at the same time. And yes, I'm gonna go into even the owls themselves and add some of this green, and I might add some the turquoise in certain bits to bring out areas. I was thinking that I should have had my breakfast first, and I have not done that, so I feel like my tummy is going to start rumbling at some point, but please do ignore that. Yeah, I was just too excited to get onto this. So, and here I'm trying not to think too much about the colors I'm putting down. I just want to enjoy the layers. So just going to clean off my brush, wipe it off. So how are you guys doing? I hope all is well with you. I have been working away. I had quite a few different things to work on this week. I finished off a pet portrait that I was creating for a client, and I sent that away today, and I was really happy about that because now I can be free to do some other stuff, some other creativity. I'm finding that I want to add, like I said, this background to be a lot lighter. So let's see, what can I do? I've already got quite a few different colors on this, and so I'm trying to gauge which brush I want to use and how much of this background I want to cover. So I think I'll need to have some new paint at some point. The paints I have in my palette here are basically almost done. So I'm just gonna go This brush is probably too big. I really like the colors in the back here, but I mixed in some of that turquoise in with some white, and I'm trying to lighten these top areas here and bring in. I really like some of the cream that's in there, but really want to highlight the owl. So working in like a series and batch is really good because it gets you to produce something a lot faster, and you don't think too much about it, which is good, because if not you will freeze up. So I like to paint things together. So as I said, I just want to lighten this background up so I can see some of the areas that are here. I can start seeing the owl a bit better. It is good to have some areas that blend. And also, I mean, this is going to be like a notebook. It is an original art piece as well, so it just makes it a little bit more special when you have that element added to it. And this I would be having available in my shop as well, so that's what I'm thinking about. I'd need to varnish it, which like a spray varnish would be good for this. So just wash off my brush and then think about other areas. I want to actually come into like the face a little bit more. So let's see, I've got a palette. Also I draw into this with like coloring pencils as well, so I could do a little bit of that in a minute. I've already done quite a lot of drawing into it already, but we'll see. I'm just gonna squeeze this out on my palette. I've been trying to get rid of my paint, older paint I've had for a while actually. So when I squeeze them out, I'm really happy because then I can put them into the bin once I have finished with them. I'm just trying to find the cover here. So, and also I am doing things to allow this to dry a little bit as well. So will I get this into the bin? Let's see. Wow, I got it into the bin. Yeah, so let's see, I've got a little bit of pink here. It's quite a saturated pink. Like, can you see that on the canvas, on my little palette? Like this palette that I've got here. I've been going around, I've been saying this for a while now, especially specifically on my vlog, tidying my studio and trying to get myself a little bit organized in here. So I have quite a few items that need to be used up. These paints I've had a little while and I really wanted to start using them, so I am working on a lot of that really. So here I'm just adding some of this color into the areas I want to lighten up and add some new color. So going in here doing the same, and some of this will get covered up, some won't. I think after this color I'm going to use like a really dark color like a black to pull some areas out, so I feel like it isn't as clear as it could be. Put some on the wing as well. And then as I'm doing this as well, sometimes I am redrawing areas. I'm trying to re-emphasize some parts of it and trying to adjust things I think that might be awkward. But as I said, it is an abstracted piece. It doesn't have to be exact. It's like an impression. of something. So, and I don't want to cover it all up, but yeah, I like that. Let's see some other areas here. And then I might mix in some white here with this. So I should show you on this camera. It's a bit small. I'll show you here as well. Mix in some white and then you get a different mix in here. Don't want to cover up everything. And then I'm going to start putting some of the gestures of the owls, you know, like the feathers, the way, the direction of feathers. Let's do some of that. Some more white. Just to show it's not very different, but close up you can see it better. So yeah, how are you? I hope you are getting an opportunity to create as well. I'm always trying to think of how to layer this so that I can show you more precisely what it is I'm doing. So we'll see how it goes. So I know that there's areas that are going to be light that the sun is touching. I think I need to bring in some darker areas into this. There's not enough contrast for me in a lot of areas. So I'm putting gestures here of like the wings. I really like this flower I've got overlapping into this. And then you do a little bit of scratching in as well. So almost forgotten that to get more variance. I'm going to go into a darker color, I think. So what could I use for this? I'm thinking I have like some burnt umber that I might use, like here. Burnt umber. Let's just make sure that this is not blurry. I just touched that screen. So put some burnt umber there. I have some raw umber. Is that burnt umber? Yeah, I have some raw umber, but it's a lot grayer. I don't want to do that. So we're gonna go into the eyes. Oh, can't see it very well. Okay, some black after all. You can add black and blue. You can just do all sorts of things to get like a variation on black, because I don't necessarily want it to be, let's see, can I see it in here? I don't want it to be like, you know, just only black. I want it to be a mix of a color, just very dark basically. My brush is not as thin as it could be. If I want more detail, I could work on this for a really long time, to be honest. So it doesn't have to be a very quick painting. So it could be different sessions, just sitting and painting this. So, and when you put one layer and you let it dry, you can come back and add. So that's the way to work. And I didn't mention, I don't think, that I'm working with acrylics. This is not oils, this is acrylics. So I've done that, and I want to go into the background and maybe add something else that will make this a bit more obvious about the difference in contrast. So I'm adding some of this dark black brown into these areas to make it a bit more just darker. Some of the umber by itself. And I can come back in and add more colors again. So there's always just a chance to do more. Do the same here. it's like kind of framing the owl so that I can see it better. And some of the gestures as well. If you use different sizes of brushes, it really makes a difference, because then it is more interest that you're adding into it. So I'm going to add some of the turquoise into this as well and see what that does. It's like a dark black, still black, but it's a different black. So just mixing different colors into other colors, it does change it. It's not that obvious all the time. It does change it. And I'm just going from one side to the other, and I've forgotten about this one a little bit. And I've got these books overlapping the notebooks, so that if they drip, they'll just drip straight down and not, pull in the bottom and cause some kind of damage to the pages. That's what I've been doing here. So they're a bit more information on them right now. So they do look lighter in the background because of the fact that I have added all this variety on it now. And also doing it in a batch like this is good for your paint. You're not wasting too much paint. I'm gonna start adding some of the wing details. Just thinning out this wing here so that it's a bit more realistic for the size of the bird. I think I need to have some ultramarine actually. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm just mixing this in here to get like some of the shadow. It's like a greeny black in the shadow area here. So I added some more turquoise so that it would be, it's like a gray, but it's a greeny gray. And add some here. The wing is very robust. I could make this a lot smaller. So it goes with the size. But what I was doing here as well, which is that sometimes they have like a wing showing here. So that's what this is. There's sometimes a wing showing itself here. So that's a kind of a gray. And the shadows, so I'll get back to that. And if it's not right, you can go back again and add. So as I'm looking at this, I'm trying to think what colors are not in here enough. And I would say maybe like for the pink, maybe like orange, yellow, warmer colors. The pink is very bright. I think that's a cool pink. So I'm thinking like a yellow of some sort to add to this. I'll just wash off my brush for a little bit and let me think a little bit. I'll need to add some more greens back in. But yeah, I'm really enjoying taking the time doing these sessions with you guys, mainly because it is setting aside time for me to work on paintings that need to be worked on. So here I've just looked at this and I have this butterfly here. Here I probably would have put a bee in somewhere as well. I've got a bee here that's not quite finished, so I will think about that. I don't have to finish this today. Yet again, as I keep on doing, I'll keep on saying, because I don't want to rush it. The whole point of these sessions is to spend some time creating artwork, taking my time and absorbing what I'm doing. And also I wanted to show you what I did to the owl I did last week. I hadn't finished it at that point in my mind, and I worked on it some more, and I framed it, but it's not finished because I need to varnish it. So I'll just get that while this is still letting it dry to a certain point before I add like some yellows maybe, and some other colors. I'm thinking of some other pinks. I will get the other painting for you. So let me just see where it is so I can just pick it up for you. So I don't know how well you see it on this one. So I think I would make this, superimpose that to these guys here. But yeah, so this one is what I was working on last week. I might put another picture to show you a glimpse of what it looked like in the last video when I was painting. And I worked on him a little bit more. So he's got some gold on him. It's a bit reflective. I've added like the landscape, and autumnal kind of trees. It's like autumn in the background there. Some trees here. I really love the way it looks. So yeah, I really enjoyed building on the layers. And so if I wanted to spend a lot of time again on these ones, I would detail them to this level. So we'll see where I go, because these notebooks are like, I think they're £15 each. So we'll see how much detail I put on them, but I'd need to go into more detailed brushes and really take my time. But putting this overall look and then going in and spending time with them, it will make them quite unique for the individual that buys them. So I think I will spend a little bit more time on them with a detailed brush, even after this session, just to finalize like the bees and the butterflies and take my time. I still have a lot to do in the studio as well, so this session has allowed me to kind of carve them out so that we can see what they look like. But this is the kind of idea I'm going for. I want to put some trees in the background that are a bit more carved out, you know, against the sky, and landscape as well. So don't know how much of that you can see. So I really love this one. So this will be going into the brick and mortar shop. I'm trying to decide which one, if it's the Edinburgh one or Glasgow, where I sell my artwork. But until then, let me know if you see this before I go. You can always try and contact me if it's still available, and I'll post wherever. So I will put this one aside for now and see what else I can add to this. So just sit you up. Right. Let's see what else I can add to this. So I'm always thinking of a bright yellow when I think of things. So I might end up using, let's see, do I have them all nearby? I'm trying to be really organized with my artwork. Actually, I remember where they are. So these are open acrylics, and they are slow drying. And I'm thinking if I put that on, I can't really touch these paintings for some days, but I love the way they go on. They're very smooth and just delicious paint. So I have the magenta here. I might try and see what that looks like, adding some magenta to this to start off with. So onto my palette that I have down there, and then I will try the magenta first. So magenta, it's like a cool, so how do you say this? I never say this right. The quinacridone, that's it, quinacridone magenta. And I am going to put a little on this. So where do I want to put this? Let's see. I'm using them straight on here, saturated. I might mix them, I might not, because I just want to be able to get some areas in. Again, I've not got my drink. You know what? Next time I'm doing this differently. I am going to have my breakfast first, because I'm starting to notice that I am dry. For some reason, I don't have a drink. This is unacceptable, unacceptable. My standards have to go up. So, ooh, I like the way that that looks. And I just love it with paint. It's like this, if you use it quite dry, you can get different textures. You can scrape it in a certain way and it gives it, what do I call it? Like scumbling effect. And let's see. Some in the wing here. I've got some on that flower as well, so let's just add some in the wing here. Even here, just. I like that effect where it's like I've now framed out the eye. That's quite cool. Let's do that here. And follow up on all the other ones. It's like they're wearing glasses. I love it. And that makes them look more like the stereotypical owl, actually. So, and that's the thing I love. It's like playing along and you just end up doing something that you weren't thinking of doing before. And then you try it out. So here's some more pink. I'll just see what that looks like. Because it's all about different effects on the actual. So it's good to try all the different movements and gestures as well to highlight the beak. I think I'm gonna move this white closer to me because I'm reaching too far. So I want to do some gestures just off the wing to show variation, and then just go and scratch to just spread that paint around. Just feel your way around and you're adding and they're just getting better the whole time. It's just amazing. It's amazing. So some gestures there of like the wings. And a bit of pink going here. You can always go over areas that you think you've done too much to, and you want to go back and work on. So I am just trying to build layers, and my white has got so many different colors in it that it is not quite white, I would say at this point. It's probably very tainted. So I am adding more cool colors to this, using the side of my brush. Concentrating, so I'm not talking as much, but yeah. Add in some strokes here and there. This I don't like, I need to push that back. It's like a gray, some white, and some of this greeny black. That's just, and just not thinking, spending the time, and it's just building and building. So wash off the brush and have a little think. I want to add some yellow. I'm just going to get my yellow. Got two. So let's see. All right, this is not them. Right, okay. That was my oil paint. So let's see what I have in this one. I think I want to go warm, and yeah, so I'm gonna go for the cadmium yellow at the moment. But yeah, they've changed a lot. I can still add some more to the background. So for these slow drying ones, if you want them to dry a lot faster, you can add different mediums to them. So let's see, where's my brush? I think my camera there is saying it wants to run out of charge. This might be a shorter session than I thought. Let's see if I can quickly add some of this yellow in places. And then you can always add some more of the white to change the yellow I was adding right here. So let us go. I'm just gonna keep on adding this, and it's very saturated, but that's fine. I will build layers on top of this. And I guess sometimes as well, if you have different brushes, you have different sizes and movement on your canvas. So it's just being aware that I should keep moving the actual brush around, not keep in one place. Try different kind of strokes. So I'm gonna add some of the quinandrum, can't even say it, some of the pink I was using earlier to this. Thinking some of the yellow here, because it's very pink. I wanted to start adding some warms. Might add in some reds as well, actually. Some like deep reds or orange. I think it's an orange, I mean. It's really interesting because trying to think of what colors you want to add to get a certain effect. It's like if you can see there's something missing, it's like thinking of what it is that you need to add. And also might add like a green in the background. So I'm just using some of that turquoise and some of the yellow and mixing it on my palette, and then going into the background and adding some sort of a green here. Then I now need to be conscious of the fact I have kind of knocked some of that emphasis around the owl out. So let's see what I can do. Bringing in another pink, but that is not actually on it. This is what happens. Sometimes you go awry with some things. Might add some black in here with some of maybe the quinandrum. I can't say that. I'm so sorry. You know what I mean. Add in some again to bring out some areas. Or take away some areas, like if I've I've done something in the background I don't like, I need to get rid of it as well. So yeah, I was adding some of that. I'm gonna see if I can find the orange I have somewhere here, and for some reason it is missing an action. So what I can do is mix my own, because I don't understand why that is missing. I did find it. So I'm gonna mix my own orange with red. So I need to find a deeper red that I have here. Which one is it? It is Naphthol red light that I have, and I'm going to basically start working on that. Let's make sure that I am zoomed in. And actually, I've not set the time for this. Alexa, set alarm for 30 minutes.
30-minute alarm set for 11:17 a.m.
Right. So this is because it was 24 minutes that my camera had cut out and I had to charge it for. And I got another 30% on my camera, so that should cover it for this part of the session. Right, let me mix like an orange. So I'm mixing an orange with some of this. Let's see if I can get it in the view here. With some of this red and cadmium yellow. And this is a slow drying acrylic as well. So let's see what it looks like when I start adding that into the mix. And then I'll add some white as well to bring in some lighter shades of this. I wanted to warm it up a bit more, so I'm just dragging this over. I think there's a plane going overhead as well. So I'm dragging this over. It's not that I want to do an exact copy of the one beside each of them, but bringing it in, touching areas and carrying it around. So once I've done this mix, then I will go into adding some of the white, but I just want to get this sharp contrast in there. I might use some of the red as well. Let's just go in here with some of the red, get that saturated color in as well. And just dragging my brush around and seeing what it does. Trying out some different moves on areas. So there's like more warmth on this now. Bring some of that in here. So some I'm liking, some areas I'm liking more than others, that's fine. I'm just mixing that mix that's been on my brush with some white, and I've got this kind of pinkish color now that I like. And just emphasize some other areas again. And basically that's it. You just go around filling in some areas, playing with things, seeing how it looks. Add it into the wing again, I think. That would be nice to add some areas into the wing. Some bigger areas, smaller areas, some into the leg area. So as I said, some layers you would let dry before you would add to them. So, and then you just keep playing with that and seeing where you want to bring out some, like if you want to really bring out the eyes and Start emphasizing the shapes of the eyes. It was a lot of fun. So taking time and having this kind of time approach. There's so many different colors in my white. It's unbelievable. They're just interrupting everything and making their presence known. I want to make this beak a bit more prominent, so I'm just gonna So what I can also do with this is I could, you know, just put one in front of me and focus on just that one instead of going back and forth. So just taking some of that turquoise and I'm adding it into the pink. Don't really know what kind of a blue it's making now, but I wanted to come back up into the sky and start adding some more colors and maybe cutting out some shapes here in the background, blend in some more areas, a bit more white, and mix that on the actual, and just try and highlight this bee I'll work on next at some point. So I'm just going in there and highlighting that. And quieting, I think I'm quieting some areas that might feel noisy and just cut shapes into them. And these areas are dried, so they can have this response. I wanted to do a bothy here, right in the background. So like a little bothy there. Add some white onto the other white. The sky looks very dramatic. It's like mixing on the canvas, if you take your time to play around with it, can look really nice. I'm gonna come in here and quieten some areas here as well. Right, some white. So just building, trying to cut into this so that I can see exactly where I want the owl to be. Just make sure I'm focused. Just going back and forth. Eyes. I've got some of the burnt umber. I'm going to go into the eyes a little bit and give them like a warm tint in the middle. This one, I feel like this one's been forgotten a little bit. So I've gone into the burnt umber with some of my cadmium yellow, and it's really interesting green. Ooh, I like that green. Just touch some areas around this bothy here. And just start to introduce a different kind of landscape. It's really yummy color. So that's what that does. It's like already, I've got some of my red in there as well, naphtha red and that brown. So it's kind of a brown now that I'm adding in here. Just go around like adding it to all of them in different ways, and you can add more yellow, it'll become more green. Add a bit of red, it's like a red brown. You can come back into that and come with some of that yellow. So it's just developing and it's going along. The red and the brown. It's waking up that landscape a little bit, but I want to add some more green, so I'll get some more yellow, but it might be the lighter yellow. So where did I put that? So I picked the warmer one last time, cadmium, but I might pick, just check this, where did I put it? It should have been right at the top. It was only 2 options. I could put that yellow somewhere. Hansa yellow, that's what I'm going to be putting on next. Slow drying acrylic, medium. I spent a little time tidying my corner as well when I was waiting for the camera to charge. So that was quite good fun. I got quite a bit to still do in the rest of the studio. So let's use some more of this brown and this yellow, so it's like a yellowy brown. I'll come back and add some blue in there as well so that I can get a different green. So it's a different color going in. Doesn't look like much, but that's fine. It's like very muted colors being added there. So I'm trying to highlight this from the background. So if there's a light background, then it'll be something dark to make it stick out, or just a contrast color that you can see. So they've come, I think, a lot further than they were before. What else did I want to add? I wanted to add yellow. I feel like I want to add some kind of a tan color somehow, but or more white. Just a lighter color. The cooler areas, that would be this purple and this. And then a bit of pink. Because I think I've just realized I've not put enough of the gestural markings. You get that kind of hint at feathers and so yeah, I think that it's quite nice. I think I'll end it here for today so that I don't end up getting cut off by my camera again. But thank you for joining me, and to all those who subscribed since last week as well, thank you very much. It's been awesome to hear your comments and your feedback, and I'll see you guys next Monday as well here again on the channel. And yeah, I really love how these guys look. They look amazing, and I'm gonna let them dry and see where I go with that from there. There's probably still adjustments to do, like on the beaks, fine-tuning, tightening a little bit, if I want to do anything else in the background or not, or just leave them the way they are. I mean, it's amazing what people love artwork wise, and I don't want to push too far from what I have, because I think they look really great. And as I said, for original paintings on your notebook, this is quite a bit of time spent on it, and for original work that you could always cut out and frame after you finish using a notebook, as well. I just feel it's unique to have that, and it's just pretty, and the colors look great as well. So I'll let that dry, and I will think about if I do anything else to it and put some more details on it. But thank you to you guys for joining me. So once again, my name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm based in Scotland, and I have a lot of information in the description about my website, my other channels, what else I get up to, and I think you should join me and see what else I'm doing aside from this. But this is me spending time creating beautiful art. So I'll see you guys next Monday. Thank you, and please do subscribe for more people to have access to this, to see me playing in my studio, and just to figure out how easy it can be to create artwork, and just to, you need to invest the time. So that's what I'm doing myself and on this channel. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Bye-bye.